I saw an experiment with rats in which two cages were used to test the rats' reactions to a state of shortage. In the first cage, more rats were added and an abundance of food was provided. The rats were quite content. They slept and screwed and ate and played. In the second cage, as rats were added, the food supply was gradually reduced. It was in this state of shortage that the worst traits started to emerge. The pecking order was then established. Rats were killing each other, mothers were eating their young, fathers were killing sons, and so on and so on. We are not rats, we are human, but we must also remember and appreciate that we have certain animal instincts that influence our behaviour. We in the West are very lucky not to be hungry, unlike third world countries where food and water are in real and constant state of shortage. Yet we do perceive a shortage when we compare ourselves to others. We are willing to let our fellow humans in poorer countries suffer a real state of shortage so we can cheaply acquire their resources and labour. In this 21st century, we are constantly made aware of new and better products that do exactly the same jobs as their older counterparts, and we aspire to these products, not because we need them, but perhaps because we fear the ridicule of others for not aspiring to acquire them. It is a perceived state of shortage that we are in, not a real one, and it is our perception that separates us from the animals. I can perceive a world of abundance, if only this greedy, ill-conceived idea of consumerism doesn't completely destroy our planet before we get a handle on it. As I mentioned earlier, I too am a flesh and blood consumer. I used to believe in my self-interested, greedy state of mind that I was entitled to more than everyone else because I worked harder than everybody else. I didn't realise that by believing so, I was denying the best of me the opportunity to change my world into a better place by truly caring for my fellow man. The joy of acquisition is short-lived compared with the act of sharing. I'm not for a moment suggesting that anyone's hard work should not be rewarded, or that you should not enjoy rewarding yourself, or that you give so much of yourself that you are in a real state of shortage. All I'm suggesting is, do we really need that new car every year? Do we really have to have the latest iPod or iPad or whatever? These are the impulses that are not only making manufacturers utilised by what is old standards slave labour in order to maximise profit, but also to rape this planet's resources. We too, without realising it, are enslaving ourselves to a constant need to acquire a better this or that, without thinking of the consequences on our planet, ourselves or our fellow man. I worry that we're rushing towards an inevitable end that could end up killing this beautiful planet before we even discover the best in ourselves.